Have you ever wondered if a simple ritual could change your life? Imagine unlocking pathways to peace, abundance, and personal transformation, all with something as simple as your name in salt water. In this video, we'll dive deep into a timeless Buddhist practice that taps into the power of intention, energy, and the universe itself. From attracting prosperity to dissolving negative energies, this ritual holds secrets that countless spiritual seekers have embraced for centuries. Curious about how this works? Ready to discover a whole new level of connection with the universe? Stay tuned, because what you're about to learn could truly transform your life in ways you never imagined. In Buddhist traditions, rituals are often misunderstood as mere ceremonial actions, yet they are anything but superficial. Each ritual serves as a way to deepen one's connection with the self, to clear the mind, and to foster inner peace. Among these practices, the saltwater ritual is particularly fascinating, a seemingly simple act that embodies the principles of intention, release, and universal connection at the heart of Buddhism. Although to some, placing one's name in a bowl of salt water may appear trivial, it's a profoundly symbolic act that holds the potential for transformative healing. Through this ritual, the practitioner is encouraged to meditate upon their intentions and align their inner energies, releasing them into the vast, interconnected web of existence. Buddhism views the universe as an interconnected whole, where every thought, action, and intention holds significance. This philosophy is at the core of why the saltwater ritual is so effective. The water symbolizes purification and release, while the salt represents wisdom and preservation. When you place your name in this salt-infused water, you're not merely engaging in a ritual. Rather, you're actively practicing mindfulness and releasing your intentions into the universe. In Buddhism, salt has long been revered as a purifier, an agent of protection, and a symbol of the earth element. By combining salt with water, practitioners are metaphorically combining clarity with groundedness. The ritual becomes an active meditation, a deliberate act of clearing negativity from the mind and soul, letting go of mental impurities, what Buddhism refers to as the three poisons: ignorance, attachment, and aversion. To understand this ritual's impact, it's essential to see it through a Buddhist lens. For instance, the Buddha taught that clinging to our desires, aversions, and misunderstandings is at the root of human suffering. In Buddhist practice, rituals like the saltwater meditation help us confront these mental afflictions, freeing ourselves from attachments that cloud the mind. By setting our intentions and letting them symbolically dissolve into the water, we begin to clear our mental landscape of clinging and self-centered thinking. Imagine the ritual as a tool that allows you to disentangle from negativity and approach life with a more open, centered mind. Every time you engage in the practice, you're training yourself to let go of internal poisons and approach life from a place of peace, clarity, and compassion. A beautiful example of the power of simple rituals in Buddhism can be found in the life of Thich Nhat Hanh, the Vietnamese Zen master known for his teachings on mindfulness. He often spoke about how the smallest acts, like pouring tea or washing one's hands, could become sacred moments if done mindfully. These acts, he said, are moments of returning to oneself, to the present moment. In this way, the saltwater ritual is also an invitation to return to oneself and to practice deep mindfulness. Thich Nhat Hanh taught that by turning even a simple act into a mindful practice, we could transform our experience of the world, cultivate gratitude, and deepen our connection with the present. Through this lens, The saltwater ritual is not only a symbolic act but also a practice in self-awareness, a tool for coming back to the here and now. In Buddhist culture, there are countless stories of rituals bringing about profound change in individuals' lives. One well-known tale is that of Ashoka, the ancient Indian king who once ruled with a violent hand, conquering lands without mercy. After encountering Buddhism and being deeply affected by its teachings, Ashoka was said to have used various rituals to reflect on his past actions and purify his intentions. He began a journey of penance and transformation, dedicating himself to nonviolence and compassion. Stories like these remind us that ritualistic practices in Buddhism are not about superstition, but are intentional tools for realigning one's energies, redirecting one's life, and purifying one's mind and heart. The saltwater ritual, while humble in its appearance, can offer a similar transformation, a quiet moment of reflection that opens the door to inner peace and personal growth. By viewing the saltwater ritual through this lens, we see that it's not merely about seeking immediate outcomes, but rather about committing oneself to a mindful process of letting go, purifying intentions, and aligning with Buddhist principles. It's a gentle reminder to release the burdens of the past, to shed negative attachments, and to cultivate a calm, clear mind. With each practice, one moves closer to embodying compassion, mindfulness, and inner clarity, creating space for genuine peace. In this way, the saltwater ritual becomes a mirror to our inner state, a reflection of our willingness to grow, to let go, and to trust in the process. And just like Ashoka, anyone who practices this ritual with sincerity and mindfulness may find themselves transformed, one small step at a time, drawing nearer to a life of balance and serenity. In Buddhism, salt and water hold unique significance as natural elements with powerful, transformative symbolism. Salt has long been revered for its purifying qualities, acting as a preservative and cleansing agent both physically and spiritually. Water, meanwhile, represents fluidity, clarity, and adaptability, qualities essential to the Buddhist way of life. Together, salt and water become a potent combination in rituals aimed at releasing negativity, promoting clarity, and helping individuals open themselves to positive change. This symbolic pairing in Buddhist practices, like the saltwater ritual, is deeply rooted in the idea that by attuning ourselves to these natural elements, we are better equipped to cleanse the mind, release attachments, and foster inner peace. From a Buddhist perspective, salt is more than a mineral. It embodies the essence of purity and wisdom. In ancient Buddhist teachings, salt was sometimes used in purification rituals to absorb and neutralize negative energies. As practitioners pour salt into water and place intentions upon it, they acknowledge the salt's role as a grounding, stabilizing force. Salt, in this context, is seen as representing the earth element, which brings a sense of stability and groundedness to the practitioner. By incorporating salt into a ritual, one is symbolically rooting oneself in clarity and releasing impurities that cloud the mind, much like salt itself can purify water. This action becomes a means of letting go of mental and emotional poisons that hinder personal growth. Water, on the other hand, is a symbol of adaptability and flow, attributes that are central to the Buddhist path. In Buddhist philosophy, life is ever-changing, and one must learn to be as adaptable as water, embracing each moment with an open mind. Water's fluid nature represents the concept of anatta, or non-self, a key Buddhist teaching that explains how identity is fluid and constantly shifting, like water itself. When practitioners engage in the saltwater ritual, they are not only purifying but also inviting the qualities of flexibility and openness into their lives. In allowing their intentions to dissolve in water, they accept the idea that life is full of changes, and by being open to these shifts, they make space for new, positive energies to flow in. From a scientific viewpoint, salt and water also have practical uses that enhance their symbolic meanings in rituals. Salt is well known for its cleansing properties, while water is essential for life, hydration, and sustenance. Science shows that water has a unique molecular structure that allows it to carry and transform energy. Studies in molecular biology, for instance, suggest that water has the ability to retain information on a vibrational level, making it a suitable medium for rituals that involve intentions and energy transfer. This aligns with the Buddhist belief that water can be used as a carrier for intentions, absorbing energy and releasing it back into the universe. Such insights bridge the worlds of science and spirituality, showing that the physical and symbolic properties of these elements can harmonize in meaningful ways. In Buddhist history, there are many stories where water and salt played significant roles in personal transformation. One well-known story is about Milarepa, a Tibetan yogi who initially practiced black magic out of vengeance but later found enlightenment through Buddhist teachings. He lived in the mountains, surviving on simple meals, and used elements like water in his daily meditation. It's said that he would pour water into small bowls around him, using it as a reminder to keep his mind clear and fluid like the water itself. His story shows that true change is a long journey, requiring a deep willingness to let go and open oneself to the transformative qualities of nature. Another story involving the transformative power of salt and water can be seen in the practices of Zen monks who reside near coastal areas in Japan. These monks perform saltwater cleansing rituals before entering temples as a symbolic purification, washing away worldly attachments before beginning their meditation. It's a reminder that even the smallest acts can have profound significance when done mindfully. The monks believe that salt absorbs impurities and negativity, while the water washes it away, leaving them in a state of renewed purity and readiness for meditation. Their ritual is an embodiment of Buddhist principles that recognize how cleansing one's spirit, like cleaning one's physical body, prepares them to connect with deeper truths. In more recent times, the saltwater ritual has been embraced by individuals seeking personal growth and emotional release. For example, a young woman named Maya, who had endured a difficult breakup, found solace in the saltwater ritual. She felt burdened by lingering sadness and unresolved emotions. After discovering the saltwater practice through Buddhist teachings, she began placing her written intentions into a bowl of saltwater, symbolizing her desire to let go of her past relationship and make room for healing. Over time, this simple ritual became a therapeutic outlet for Maya, a way to acknowledge her pain and gently release it. She noticed a gradual transformation in her emotional state, as each ritual provided a sense of lightness and closure. Through this practice, Maya was reminded of the fluidity of life and how, like water, she could flow beyond her struggles and embrace new beginnings. This fusion of salt and water in Buddhist rituals is a reminder of the balance we must strike in life, grounding ourselves like salt while remaining adaptable like water. Each practice is an invitation to let go of attachments that no longer serve us, cleansing our spirits in the process. By engaging with these elements, we learn to honor the physical and spiritual properties of nature, drawing closer to the Buddhist path of mindfulness, compassion, and inner peace. The saltwater ritual is, in essence, a mirror reflecting our intentions and guiding us toward a clearer, lighter state of being. Through ritual, we open ourselves to transformation, trusting that with each moment of release, we come closer to harmony within ourselves and with the world around us. Mindfulness is at the heart of Buddhism. It's not only a practice, but a way of living, a means of approaching life's challenges with full awareness and presence. In rituals, especially those like the saltwater practice, mindfulness is both the foundation and the ultimate aim. By focusing intently on each action, practitioners infuse the ritual with purpose, turning simple acts into powerful symbols of inner transformation. Writing down intentions, for instance, is not just a mechanical step. It's a moment to clarify one's aspirations, to sit with one's desires and fears, and to visualize release. The entire ritual becomes a moving meditation, a process that gently forces us to confront ourselves and our intentions without distraction. Intentionality, in Buddhist philosophy, is also deeply connected to mindfulness. It is said that every thought, word, and action creates karma, and therefore, intentionality in any ritual is significant. In the saltwater ritual, participants are encouraged to reflect on why they are performing each step, ensuring their intentions are aligned with compassion and self-betterment. It's a journey of questioning. What am I holding on to that no longer serves me? What am I willing to release? Such inquiry aligns with the Buddhist pursuit of understanding the self and the often subtle attachments that bind us to suffering. The ritual, when performed mindfully, becomes an expression of conscious choice, a choice to release negativity and open space for peace and growth. In my own journey with Buddhist practices, rituals such as these have brought me closer to an understanding of how conscious action can influence one's inner world. Early on, I would perform the ritual with a somewhat vague purpose. Yet over time, as I studied Buddhist philosophy more deeply, I began to see that each action in the ritual, every motion, every intention, held a significance beyond the surface. The ritual became a way to practice mindfulness in real time, a space where I could gather my scattered thoughts and remind myself of what truly mattered. Each time I placed a written intention into the saltwater, I felt myself consciously choosing to let go of a burden, even if only in a small way. The act of letting go became tangible and meaningful, as if the saltwater were absorbing my negative thoughts and transmuting them into peace. One story that illustrates the transformative power of mindfulness in Buddhist practice is the story of Thich Nhat Hanh, a revered Vietnamese monk and proponent of mindfulness as a daily practice. He taught his followers to practice mindfulness in every moment, even in the simplest of activities such as washing dishes or walking. In one of his teachings, he explained how a simple act like washing dishes with full attention can become a meditation. Instead of thinking about the next task or daydreaming, he encouraged his students to be fully present, feeling the warmth of the water, the texture of the soap, and the weight of each dish. This teaching relates directly to the saltwater ritual, where even the smallest act, if performed with mindfulness, becomes a profound act of letting go. Another story that emphasizes intentionality in Buddhism is that of the Buddha himself. The Buddha was always deeply mindful and intentional in his actions, from how he walked to how he spoke. It is said that he once took the time to instruct a farmer on the importance of sowing seeds with the right intention. Just as seeds planted in fertile ground with proper care yield healthy crops, he explained, our actions, if done mindfully and with good intention, yield peace and happiness. This story serves as a reminder that in this saltwater ritual, the focus on mindful intention is like planting seeds within ourselves, preparing the ground for inner harmony and growth. In contemporary times, mindfulness practices have gained popularity, often stripped of their original Buddhist context. But in Buddhism, mindfulness is not simply a tool for relaxation. It's a method of cultivating wisdom and compassion. The saltwater ritual exemplifies this deeper purpose, as it requires us to pause and reflect before each step, to engage fully in the process of self-reflection, and to recognize our power to shape our lives through conscious actions. In this ritual, each mindful breath, each written intention, and each step is an opportunity to reaffirm one's commitment to the Buddhist path of non-attachment and inner peace. A young practitioner named Aiko once shared how the saltwater ritual transformed her life during a particularly difficult period. Facing a painful breakup, she struggled to find peace, feeling overwhelmed by memories and emotions that weighed heavily on her heart. When she was introduced to the saltwater ritual by a teacher, she approached it cautiously, unsure of its effects. Yet, with each session, she found herself gaining more clarity and inner calm. Writing her intentions to release the pain she held and watching the saltwater absorb her burdens became a source of healing. Over time, she realized that this practice helped her process her emotions mindfully, allowing her to let go without resentment. Through the ritual, she learned to observe her suffering without attaching to it, an insight that brought her closer to the Buddhist teaching of anatta, or non-self. In performing rituals with mindfulness and intentionality, we not only cultivate a sense of purpose, but also engage in a form of active meditation that aligns our energies and thoughts with the broader principles of Buddhism. This alignment brings clarity and calm, helping practitioners step away from the clutter of the mind and into a state of peaceful awareness. The saltwater ritual is a reminder that, like any Buddhist practice, our journey toward inner peace is a process of continuous intention and mindfulness. By honoring each step in the ritual, we come closer to understanding ourselves and our place in the world, embracing life with compassion and wisdom. The saltwater ritual, though simple in its practice, has brought profound transformations to those who engage with it earnestly. Through stories of real people who turn to this ritual in their search for peace, prosperity, or healing, we gain insight into the transformative potential of Buddhist practices. Each person's journey with the saltwater ritual reflects universal Buddhist lessons, patience, detachment, gratitude, and illuminates the spiritual changes that are possible when we align our actions with intention and mindfulness. One of the most inspiring stories is of Kenta, a businessman who experienced severe stress and unhappiness despite his successful career. Constantly chasing deadlines and responsibilities, Kenta struggled to find meaning in his achievements and began to feel as if he was merely existing rather than truly living. A close friend, seeing his struggle, introduced him to the saltwater ritual as a way to let go of negative energies and reconnect with his inner self. Initially skeptical, Kenta started practicing the ritual in small steps, writing down his worries, doubts, and frustrations before immersing his intentions into the saltwater. Over time, this ritual became a grounding moment in his day, a rare pause in his fast-paced life. Kenta found that each time he placed his written intentions into the saltwater, he experienced a gradual release from the burdens that had weighed him down. He learned to appreciate each task without being controlled by it, and eventually he discovered a sense of balance and calm. For Kenta, this practice reinforced the Buddhist teaching of upekkha, or equanimity, the ability to remain steady and at peace, regardless of life's ups and downs. Another story is that of May, a single mother who, after a painful divorce, struggled with feelings of resentment and fear for the future. For months, she carried the heavy emotional burden of loss and uncertainty, unable to find a way forward. Upon learning about the saltwater ritual from a local temple, May saw it as a means to gradually let go of her past pain. At first, she found it difficult to even put her emotions into words, but as the ritual became a regular part of her life, she began to feel a sense of release. By visualizing her emotions being absorbed by the saltwater, she found herself slowly able to detach from the pain of her past. As she continued this practice, May gained a renewed sense of purpose and gratitude, understanding that her struggles were part of her growth. This shift in perspective echoes the Buddhist principle of anicca, or impermanence, teaching her that even the most painful experiences are not fixed but are temporary states that can transform with time and mindfulness. Another powerful account is from Hiroshi, who faced financial struggles and periods of deep anxiety. Despite his best efforts to improve his situation, he encountered setbacks that left him feeling defeated. Seeking guidance, he learned about the saltwater ritual from a Buddhist monk who explained it as a practice of purifying one's thoughts and intentions. Hiroshi approached it with hope, setting the intention to release his worries and trust in the path ahead. The ritual allowed him to symbolically let go of the fear he was carrying, and as he continued the practice, he began to notice subtle yet impactful shifts in his mindset. Hiroshi became more open to opportunities and more resilient in facing obstacles. This shift mirrored the Buddhist concept of samadhi, or concentration, which emphasizes focusing on positive intention and clarity. His story serves as a reminder of the power of mental clarity and trust in one's journey. The stories of Kenta, May, and Hiroshi reveal a common truth: transformation is often the result of consistent, mindful effort. Each of them sought to change their lives through this practice, but the saltwater ritual became more than a simple exercise. It became a spiritual tool for releasing negative energy and fostering inner peace. These stories embody the essence of karma, reminding us that every action and intention we carry has an impact on our lives. By choosing to engage in this ritual with sincerity, they set in motion a process of self-reflection and healing, illustrating how karma works in shaping both our external lives and inner realities. In the broader Buddhist context, the saltwater ritual can be understood as a reflection of the middle way, a core tenet of Buddhism taught by the Buddha himself. The middle way encourages us to avoid extremes and seek a balanced, mindful approach to life. Those who practice this ritual are not aiming to avoid difficulties or cling to happiness, but instead to recognize and release the attachments that may cloud their mind. This intentional process allows practitioners to find peace within the natural rhythm of life, meeting each experience with openness and compassion. As we look at these transformations through the lens of Buddhist teachings, we see a pattern. Intentional living creates positive change, and letting go of attachment brings peace. Just as Kenta learned to balance ambition with contentment, May found freedom from her past, and Hiroshi discovered resilience in facing his challenges, the saltwater ritual provides a path toward inner harmony and alignment with life's flow. It is a testament to the power of ritual, mindfulness, and the practice of letting go, a reminder that, with intentional practice, we can transform even the most painful experiences into moments of profound growth and spiritual evolution. The saltwater ritual, like many other Buddhist practices, offers more than temporary relief or momentary insight. It is a doorway into sustained mindfulness and inner transformation. Engaging with this practice over time encourages a kind of personal evolution that aligns closely with Buddhist teachings on compassion, responsibility, and clarity of mind. When approached consistently and with intention, rituals like these serve as guiding frameworks, helping practitioners to cultivate a life of alignment, patience, and inner peace. One of the most profound lessons of the saltwater ritual is its reminder of the impermanence of our worries and attachments. Just as salt dissolves into water, becoming part of something larger and less defined, so too can our fears and frustrations dissolve when we no longer cling to them. This principle, known in Buddhism as anicca, or impermanence, is foundational to the path of liberation. The saltwater ritual invites us to let go not by pushing our struggles away, but by understanding that they are not inherently fixed or permanent. This perspective shifts our relationship with hardship from one of resistance to one of acceptance, a change that can bring immense peace. The ritual also reinforces the importance of personal responsibility and conscious intention. In Buddhism, the concept of karma reflects the idea that our actions, thoughts, and words create ripples that affect our lives and the lives of others. By engaging in the saltwater ritual with clear and compassionate intentions, practitioners are actively shaping their karma, choosing to cultivate positive outcomes through mindful practice. It's a lesson in accountability. Each time we choose to address our inner struggles rather than ignoring them, we take responsibility for our spiritual well-being. We learn that our internal world, our thoughts, emotions, and intentions, is just as impactful as our external actions. In this way, the saltwater ritual also becomes a practice in compassion, not only for oneself but for all beings. Buddhism teaches that our struggles, while unique to us, are shared experiences within the human condition. When we engage in a practice that seeks to release negative energy, we're acknowledging the interconnectedness of life and the influence our inner state has on the world around us. This ritual becomes an act of compassion as we seek to purify our intentions and energies, knowing that a clearer mind and kinder heart naturally benefit those around us. In a sense, the ritual is a reminder of metta, or loving-kindness, one of Buddhism's four immeasurables, encouraging us to cultivate inner peace as a form of compassion toward ourselves and others. One story that illustrates the long-term effects of Buddhist ritual practice is the life of Thich Nhat Hanh, a renowned Vietnamese Zen master who taught mindfulness and compassion globally. While his teachings were grounded in simplicity, he spoke often of the power of rituals to cultivate peace and presence. Thich Nhat Hanh shared how he and his fellow monks would pause each day to engage in small practices, like mindful breathing and walking, which became rituals of presence and calm. These practices may have appeared small, but over time, they deepened his ability to remain peaceful and compassionate in the face of adversity, especially during the Vietnam War. For him, rituals were not about reaching a distant goal, but about nurturing a state of mind that was rooted in love and awareness, regardless of circumstances. His story reflects the saltwater ritual's potential to cultivate patience, resilience, and compassion when practiced consistently. Another significant example is the story of the historical Buddha himself, Siddhartha Gautama, who found enlightenment not through luxury or asceticism, but through the middle path, a balanced approach that emphasized regular, mindful practices. His journey was one of steady, intentional engagement with his inner world, transforming his understanding of suffering and detachment. For the Buddha, daily practices, meditative reflection, mindful breathing, and compassionate action were not ends in themselves, but vehicles for uncovering one's inherent clarity and compassion. The saltwater ritual embodies this middle path as well, guiding practitioners to regularly release attachments, purify intentions, and ground themselves in awareness. The transformative power of rituals, like the saltwater practice, lies not in grand gestures but in small, consistent actions that anchor us in mindfulness. When we embrace such practices, we're giving ourselves permission to grow slowly and steadily, recognizing that meaningful change often requires patience. In this sense, the saltwater ritual teaches the Buddhist virtue of khanti, or patient endurance, a quality essential for any spiritual journey. By committing to this practice over time, we develop the resilience needed to face life's challenges with calm and compassion. For those new to the practice, the saltwater ritual may feel simple, even understated, but it is precisely this simplicity that allows it to become a powerful tool for self-discovery and healing. Buddhist practices are often designed this way, not to be elaborate or dramatic, but to be accessible and practical, allowing anyone to engage deeply with them regardless of spiritual background. The ritual, therefore, is an invitation to slow down, reflect, and release, offering a sacred moment of pause in a busy world. In doing so, it reminds us that spirituality does not have to be distant or complex. It can be woven into the fabric of daily life. In summary, the saltwater ritual and Buddhist ritual practices more broadly are gentle yet profound reminders of the power of intentionality, mindfulness, and compassion. By adopting this ritual, we learn to approach each day with purpose and presence, cultivating patience and peace as we go. The journey may be gradual, but over time, we find ourselves transformed, our minds clearer, our hearts more open, and our spirits aligned with the natural flow of life. In this way, Buddhist practices like the saltwater ritual are not just about achieving a momentary state of peace. They are about cultivating a way of life that brings lasting fulfillment and connection to the world around us. As we close, remember that this simple ritual of placing your name in salt water is more than just an act. It's a commitment to yourself, a symbol of trust in the universe, and a powerful step toward the life you desire. Every time you release your intentions to the universe, you're actively creating space for peace, prosperity, and clarity. Thank you for joining us on this journey through ancient wisdom. If this practice resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments if you're ready to receive all the blessings life has in store for you. Until next time on Wisdom of the Buddha, may your path be filled with light, and may the universe guide you toward all that you seek.